Please note that the following tutorial is intended for complete noobs. If you're a professional and know what you're doing, I would suggest looking up other tutorials. Hey guys, welcome to a Cinema 4D tutorial, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to add color to your text, add planes, backgrounds, and add lighting to your text, and also camera movement for creating that simple intro. I'm doing this series because everyone needs to learn the basics of Cinema 4D, because not everyone's graphics pros. I know I'm certainly not. I'm still learning. But tutorials like this would really help me out when I was learning, so I'm just going to help you guys out and hopefully get some likes on this video. So to start off, you're going to come up to your MoGraph and press text object. What this will do is it'll give you the same thing that it would if you went to the squiggly line, press text, you can see how it's 2D, and then we go to our extrude NURBS and we drag that text onto the extrude NURBS, and see it's pretty much the same effect as it would be if I was using the other text object, which is just off the MoGraph tab. So I'll just delete the one that we just made then, and I'll delete the extrude NURBS because we don't need it. And I'm going to align this to the middle, and I'm just going to type in J for P. So if you click off it, you'll notice that it changes. And if you want to come to coordinates, you're going to put the Z axis up, and what this does is it makes our text thicker. The menus are slightly different for if you're using the second way that I showed you, which is the text with, starting out as 2D and then putting extrude NURBS on it. So the window's a little bit different, but it's roughly the same thing, the Z axis. So now you'll notice that our text is now fatter than it was before because we've changed that Z axis, and now we're just going to put some color on it. So you're going to come down to your materials window, which is down here. You're going to double click, and that'll just make a new color. You're going to double click again, and then you can edit the color that this material is. I think we're going to put a blue in. Maybe take a little bit. And then that was the reflection, and I'm going to turn that down to, I don't know, about 45, and then we're going to come to color and make it nice, I don't know, purplish blue. I think that's kind of nice. So now we've got our material, we're just going to drag it onto the text object, and when I render, well, even now you'll notice that we have a nicely colored text object, and if I render, you can see this black background around it. That means that we haven't got any backgrounds or planes inserted. So we're going to come up to the tab with the little cube on it here. We're going to click and hold left click, and then we're going to come down to our plane and let go. For the plane, basically what you're going to do is change all of these to 99999, and then that'll pretty much make it big enough so that you can't see anything else. So now we have this. If I render it again, you can see a grey plane, but now we're going to make another colour for our plane, or we could even use the same colour. It's up to you, but I'm just going to use the same colour to save time. So now that we've dragged that purplish bluish colour onto our plane, you'll see if I render it again, the reflection's there, but it's still black. That's the reason for this, is that there's no lighting for the background, so you can't see the color yet. So we're going to click light, and if you just click it once, it'll show you, like, it'll just give you a normal light. And we're going to rotate, which is this little circle tool up here. This is to rotate your screen. You can just play around with that though. So now if I render, you'll see that we can see this nice kind of purplish, kind of looks like a lake, a still lake. If you wanted multiple lights, you can put an array effect on. Basically that just makes the light distribution even. So if we render it now, you'll notice that we have all lights there, but I'm just going to delete the array because that looks really ugly. And doing so, I accidentally deleted my light, so we're going to drag this back out here and render it again. Oh, so you see I accidentally put my light behind my text there. That's something that you've got to watch out for. It happens quite a lot, and sometimes you'll have missing lights and it's because it's gone through your plane or something like that. So now that we render, we got this nice kind of lake effect, as I said before. But you'll notice that if I render it now, there'll be a black background, but let's say you wanted a purple plane with a red background or something. So we're going to come into the light section. We're going to go down to background. And you'll see that the background is now selected. And basically what the background is it's this grey area back here that will only be visible by the camera. You won't see any of the white bits that will appear out here when you render. So see how that happens? The white bits come out here. That won't be visible by the camera. But to get rid of this nasty black line, all we're going to do is come down to plane. Then we're going to go to Cinema 4D tags, compositing, and turn compositing background on. Now when we render, you'll see that all of it is purple, and you can move your text back how far you want it or whatever, like just play around with that. So now that would be our basic background and stuff, I'm just going to delete the background because I personally like the mysterious purple and black effect, and I've got to delete the compositing as well. I like this effect, I really like it, so let's get down to business of animating it. So we're going to come into the light section tab and then press camera. Then we're going to come over to perspective, press camera, scene, cameras, camera, and basically what this will do is that it will make the camera move instead of objects. So we're going to insert a keyframe at 0, then we can move it to where we want it to end. Basic animation 70. I'm sorry, I messed that up a bit. Now I've got to move it back. So if I wanted the camera to like fade out there, I'd put edit 70 and then I'd put another keyframe. So basically what we have now is a simple animation of the camera moving across the text. But say you wanted a 3-point animation like my intro, I'd drag this back to about 50. So the camera is going to the end at 50, and then at, I don't know, 70, 73, I'd have it back in the center. And let's put another key tag there. So now what you'll notice is that our camera goes from side to side up until the center, like that. If I give you a quick snapshot of the render here, you'll see that it'll come across the text, fade to black, and then back up to the text again. Hey guys, first off I just want to say thank you for checking out the video. If you're new, please subscribe, as I will be doing more Cinema 4D tutorials in the future.